How you doing, Jared? We'll probably get started here in like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm still getting set up. Alright, and if you're new, so what we have here is we have the 1 minute, 60 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute. We have time and sales for ES. We have trading micros, quote board right here. P&L. We have the DOM over here. This is going to be bid and ask. Obviously, everybody knows that. And we have the amount that was traded on the bid at that level. We have the amount that was traded on the ask at that level. You'll see it repopulate. And right here, it'll tell you where the trade was executed on, the size that it was traded on, and the size of the ask that it was traded on, price it was traded on, volume, and the number of trades. Hopefully, that covers everything. So I'm still going to be playing pretty light, taking quick hits on any type of action that I scalp. I am running on a schedule of whenever my son wakes up, probably ending the stream there. So, and then we'll be back on later at night, as always, like around 9-ish for a little bit. So that's just a heads up in case all of a sudden it's like, boom, gotta go. Hey Derek, did you end up running? What did you end up running today? Do you sell the open? Was it the Iron Fly you're looking at, or did you end up buying open that? Hey Derek, did you end up running? What did you end up running today? Do you sell the open? Was it the Iron Fly you're looking at, or did you end up buying open that? Nice. What did you actually end up getting on that? That's not bad though. Alright, so basically what I'm watching though, if you want to go for patterns, if you want to say, all right, let's connect that. Still writing down this, you have a breakout on the 5 over that, but that doesn't matter to me. The overall trend on the 15 for 20, it's still writing the line. So just basically you're not looking for like, all right, it breaks above, I'm buying. It's not that type of line. It's just to kind of give you the direction that everything's bearish until the trend changes. All right, and so obviously still bearish on the hourly, but showing signs of recovery with a fight back. But on a shorter time frame, it's still trending down. On a smaller time frame, yeah, you'll get a pop, but if it's still trending down on higher time frames, still be looking for short entry. Don't be trying to find the bottom perfect breakout. So obviously still bearish on the hourly, but showing signs of recovery with a fight back. But on a shorter time frame, it's still trending down. On a smaller time frame, yeah, you'll get a pop, but if it's still trending down on higher time frames, still be looking for short entry. Don't be trying to find the bottom perfect breakout. And so on the DOM over here, that's over here, you can see the highly contested areas as well. So 3366, just take a line, go across, and you can see why that's a highly contested area. Because that's literally, it's just been, if it goes too high above that line, it comes right back down. So this is only since I started up. So you'll notice that that's where most of this action is happening. So I don't want to see anything until I start seeing another hump form on this side too. It shows that people actually want to be buying this instead of just letting it be thin. Also, another way to tell too, so if you look at the volume on the S side as compared, so if it was attacking the bid, cross compare it, cross compare it, cross compare, you can see that volume was added to the push to the upside on that compared to attacking the bid on the way down. So you see, notice it gets ate up a little bit more, it's pushing more. So that's where you start to see, you start seeing some more smaller humps form, we'll call them. You're just trying to guess. So the reason why, the whole point about I'm discussing this, it's going to play a factor into the VWAP discussion that's going to be on later. And it plays in exactly into this point as well. So you can just watch how it all moves. Watch how it adds to each side over here. Alright, you don't need to watch this. You don't need to watch all these numbers change because that can just be constantly adjusting. You just want to see what's executed. So if you want to, just watch that for like the next couple minutes. Watch how these values change. So like right here, 234. We'll just watch to see if it makes a push for there. What's it going to be doing when it happens? And you can this is for ES. So this won't be confirming with this. This is just, I want the daddy trade over here. Wow, they got the baby trade up here. This is for ES. So this won't be confirming with this. This is just, I want the daddy trade over here. Wow, they got the baby trade up here. I mean, you can follow literally anything with tick, add, whatever you want, whatever internal you want to actually look at. It's just gonna give you, it's just gonna tell you strength. It's not gonna mean, okay, if it breaks through 100, all of a sudden you're gonna get more, you're gonna get bigger moves. You're not gonna do whatever it is. Okay, so just use it as a term of strength. So if ad is still red, we'll just, I know you're talking about tick, but we're talking about just ad now. If ad is still red, that just means that, you know, and the market's still trending up, that means there's fewer stocks that are just controlling it upwards. If it's green and everything's trending up, you have a higher chance for maybe just playing upside, and vice versa. It can give you direction in terms of how you bias to go into every trade. So like, let ad is negative 1300 right now. Maybe just keep, and it just plays off of the trends, you know, keep looking for short entries until the trend breaks and a recovery when it comes to that. You can try to catch a bottom, but if everything's trending that way and everyone's favorite mantra is follow the trend, there's no reason to go against it. And so today is one of those things where it's like you don't want to be locked into a channel like what was happening last night. So it's a bigger channel this time though, so you can be playing ups and downs. You see this hammer form, there's people that are buying off that dip, maybe a break above right here just to kind of buy it. You saw that it came back but still came back up, and now it's continuing forward. It never broke below the body of the candle. You notice that it was found to support there as well. So those are different ways you can play it in a strict candle sense, and you can obviously, there's 1,010 different ways you can honestly play this. You can look at it just off DOM, you can look at it have price action, you can just get rid of candles altogether and just play trends. You can do ticks, you can do just whatever. So just whatever works for you. But now we actually have a playable range. But last night it was 2 to 4, and now you have 4D since open. Yeah, so money can be made. Just get rid of candles altogether, just play trends. Ticks, you can do just whatever. So just whatever works for you. But now we actually have a playable range. Last night it was 2 to 4, and now you have 4D since open. Yeah, so money can be made. Also, some of the other things that I'm looking at and internally gauging here as well is you have a ton of hours that are just spent red currently. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight hours of being red without an uptick. All right, so here's your uptick after the 10th hour, 11th hour. Maybe it's time to put in an order right here above like 338, or excuse me, 368. So obviously you don't want to do it right there, but maybe you can play the breakout if that happens, because you don't want to get caught right here above. But again, that's what you're viewing here is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10 straight hours. So maybe a little bit of a relief bounce. And trying to catch some bigger momentum up here. The problem is you don't want to get part of this top tick and then just get slammed down. And you can get that confirmation with maybe a trend break with using that EMA. Again, it's not something you trade off of with a break above and all of a sudden you start doing that. So maybe if you really wanted to do it, you can drag it up here, but you don't really have to. You can get that confirmation. Maybe a trend break with using that EMA. Again, it's not something you trade off of a break above and all of a sudden you start doing that. So maybe if you really wanted to do it, you can drag it up here. But you don't really have to. Mr. Baby's doing good. We actually had a meeting today. That's why I was gone for most of the morning. Everything's going pretty good. His levels are still pretty high though. So we're trying to figure out how to adjust that and get it more controlled. But means we get no sleep for the next like few days or so. We didn't get any sleep last night, get any sleep the night before, so it's in a constant state of trying to readjust. I think we've been waking up at like 3 or 4 a.m. and like the kid like is hungry, he wants food. So you have to feed him at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it takes like an hour to get him back to sleep, so woof. So again, one of the things again is just keep on focusing on this side of things on the DOM, where the volume is traded at, and that will lead into the discussion about why that's true. Hungry is healthy, but we're trying to balance a state to make sure that he's not DKA. So we're trying to maintain that he stays out of that range and he keeps slipping back into that range, but we keep on correcting it. So it's different. But yeah, so keep focusing on where this volume is traded. And this is since I loaded it up, you'll notice the humps because everything's revolving around that 3366 level, because that's where it's at. If he goes across, that's where we've been at all morning, just playing off that. So I'm only looking for, if it does break above that line though too, like obviously making sure I'm not getting caught in that again, making sure I'm not getting a top tick, trying to keep it tight, and just looking for a couple points, maybe a point or two. Or just hoping for maybe a Trump tweet. The Poppy T come to us. Alright, so now you're going into territory where my DOM hasn't been up, and you get to see it moving, see how it's adjusting and adding to each size. It'll be a lot easier to track too, because you'll see the white bar grow as more volume is there as well. So 20 added to that side, 1 added to that side. You can just keep on watching over here. Hasn't been up, and you get to see it moving, see how it's adjusting and adding to each size. It'll be a lot easier to track too, because you'll see the white bar grow as more volume is there as well. 20 added to that side, 1 added to that side. You can just keep on watching over here. Alright, so you get a good sense of it. Alright, so here's my problem. Here's my problem with the interpretation of VWAP currently that has been, everybody's talking about an anchored VWAP. So now you can just pinpoint a price on here and create a, for anybody who doesn't use VWAP, it is a volume weighted moving average. Okay. I mean, just basically where it's at. Let's just put it at that. It's not necessarily moving average. It's just where most of the session or wherever you anchor it to, where most of the volume has been trading at. Now, the reason for VWAP is for managers. All right. So if a client comes to me and says, I have $1 million, I want in at a fair price. Get me in here. I want all my money into ES by the end of the day. All right, what would be a good metric that you can say my client got in at a fair price value? You can't tell them, well, I got you in every single time it touched a 20 moving average, because that's not good. Who cares? You know, maybe somebody else got down the road, got in at the first time it touched the 20 moving average. So that moving averages are out the way. Well, I got you in on this ascending triangle break. Well, okay, what does that mean? Why did somebody down the road get in at a better price on that ascending triangle? So patterns, everything are not good tools for you as a manager to do that. So this is where volume weighted or VWAP comes into play. So if all of a sudden VWAP for ES is trading at 33.63, all right, it doesn't matter where in the day that is. So if it's this blue line for there, and you get slight differentiations, and there is only a plus or minus 2 or on VWAP all day, and you tell your client you got in where everybody did most of the day, that's going to be a better tool to use for your clients when it comes to that. So that's why VWAP is important, and why you see people talk about, well, no one's going to get their client out at the bottom of the day if VWAP is 50 ticks up. All right, because if you get them out and they're that far extended, they're going to be like, what the hell? Why couldn't you just get me in off at a fair value? So that's why you see these mean reversions to this moving average, because of that. So this comes in with Brian Shannon, I wouldn't say his name is. He wanted to come up with an anchored VWAP. He wanted to say, all right, after an ER play, after this event, where was fair value for a client to get in at? And that's where he got this whole thing from. And everybody's banking on it. Oh my God, look where it got us in at. Look where it's got us in at. And you'll notice like 3 or 4 touches on this and be like, wow, that's amazing. It's great. It doesn't mean shit. It just means that's the average for the volume from the time frame that you placed it at. It's not a tool. You can do a weekly VWAP. You can do, because you say, all right, here's $1 million, get me in by the end of the week, or here's $1 million, get me in by the end of the month. These are different tools compared to, all right, after this event, I want you to find a fair value after that, then get me in, which can be done. But how many people are you going to know that are going to bring significant money to the table after an event? They're going to feel like they missed the move, or they're going to create so much FOMO with this that they're probably going to say, hey, let's give you a better call. Which can be done, but how many people are you going to know that are going to bring significant money to the table after an event? They're going to feel like they missed the move, or they're going to create so much FOMO with this that they're probably going to say, hey, let's give you a better call. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's like, it's not making you confused more. It's just kind of getting rid of this bullshit high that comes from indicators where it's, oh, it gives me an edge. It gives me this thing of, no, you're just finding value where everybody else bought at. If you're an investor, sure, that's a great tool. It's not making you confused more, it's just kind of getting rid of this bullshit high that comes from indicators where it's, oh, it gives me an edge, it gives me this thing of, no, you're just finding value where everybody else bought at. If you're an investor, sure, that's a great tool. But personally, like on days like this, where you know you get a larger sell-off at night. I don't even know what the news was at night. Well, I'm gonna get rid of this order while I talk real fast. So you get this larger sell-off at night where we dropped 100 points since what? 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Oh, that would have been killer last night. But anyways, so you'll get these larger drop-offs and you'll notice it's trading significantly under VWAP the entire time. You're talking about maybe 30 points, 30 points, 30 points. And then we hit this 930, all right? And you are 30 points off VWAP. And you can get your client out right then in the morning, but you're 30 points off fair value over the ending night. And where was that? You're almost basically 100 points off from the close yesterday, right? And you can't get 30 points back on that. You're not going to be managing money very long. So you'll notice that I don't have it up on my screen, but if you pull up VWAP right at the open, you notice it was a mad rush to get to VWAP, and that's where we had that chop. And once it hit VWAP for that session, that's where you hit it, you come back down. We're still trending on it. VWAP is still sitting at 33.71. That's where I'd be looking for resistance still. It's people that are maybe still trying to get out at a fair value, or they're going to pop this up. That's a good level to get in, especially if that starts pointing up, because you're noticing then volume is now picking up and moving back up, or starting to level out. That's where I'd be looking for resistance still. It's people that are maybe still trying to get out at a fair value, or they're trying to pop this up. It's a good level to get in, especially if that starts pointing up, because you're noticing the volume is now picking up and moving back up, or it's starting to level out. We are still in our second candle. We got our first green candle after 10 hours. Like, I think there's going to be some type of recovery. So even if I get in right here at this time at 33.65, that gives me a 3-point value to play for a VWAP test. There might be a lot of chop for there, and there might be a lot of pullback, which could suck. We got our first green candle after 10 hours. Like, I think there's going to be some I feel like you're going to get it. Yeah. That gives me a 3-point value to play. So I would have been in right there, but I didn't want to be in right now. There might be a lot of pullback, which could suck. If you notice what's going on over here, see the move up, and now you're getting this. There you go. That's the level that I wanted to see, because I was only going to get, what is it, I was going to get a half a point off of that. And I just thought maybe you run it a little bit, you grab some stops and see how it reacts off that. I don't want to be part of that pullback. So there. Yeah. All right, let's try it again. So it should get in right there. So I'm just playing for a little bit. I'll be out if this goes against me fast. I'm not trying to get fancy with it. Set a protective order. For a little bit, I'll be out if this goes against me fast. I'm not trying to get fancy with it. Just in case like news hits, something hits, I want a way to be out and be safe. Set a protective order. Just in case like news hits, something hits, I want a way to be out and be safe. So there's my one. There we go. Take it. I got my 1.5 point. For my life right now, for what's going on, I want to be in and out, take my 1 or 2 points off of that. Sure, I can be in and keep riding this up, follow momentum. But you know what? I got other things going on in my life that makes me not be able to sit around and wait for this trade to develop. So if I was trading ES right now, it's 75 bucks. But it's micros, it's 7.5. I want to be in and out, take my 1 or 2 points off of that. Sure, I can be in and keep riding this up, follow momentum. So another thing too is, so we were talking about earlier in the stream, is using this as just a trend change and seeing how buyers react off this line. So we've been noticing, let's push it up, all right? So compared to this, your bid side attack versus your ask side attack. Sounds funny when you put it that way. But, all right, so you'll notice that there's significant more volume pushing it up here than there is that's going to be attacking the bid. And that coincides right here with the trend shift above the 20 EMA. 20, it's not buy above the line, it's just a point of an inflection point. Inflection points are just points where, all right, it hits there, I'm going to start watching this, I'm going to start watching this. So anything else like down here, I don't really give a crap about. I want to see things play out. It's not buy above the line, it's just a point of an inflection point. Inflection points are just points where, all right, it hits there, I'm going to start watching this, I'm going to start watching this. So anything else like down here, I don't really give a crap about. I want to see things play out. Sorry about that, I had the DOM scroll down. So now you can see it's thin, it's really easy to follow. You don't have to worry about these bigger numbers. You can see how each thing plays out. So where are they attacking now? All right, so this 71 area that we were talking about, that is, guess what? That's right where VWAP is. What a magical coincidence that this is exactly where the volume came in at for both sides. You don't care about that the volume came in. You want to see which direction the volume came in at. Okay? That's another huge common misconception of volume confirms everything. No, what happens if all your volume came in on the bid and if they pushed it down? That doesn't mean that it goes higher. So that is perfect. So what a great way to start the stream and have it actually play out perfectly. Talking about VWAP, volume came in and right at VWAP. That's why VWAP's important. That's why VWAP's important. All right, so one of the questions I got was an ER play for work, which is Slack Technologies. All right, and let's do that. Hold on one second. Fauci tells that Alvarez and Pfizer biotech COVID trials are expected to be enrolled by the end of September and allow 1.5 for a second dose. It's unlikely we'll have a definitive answer by November 3rd. It's a weird date to put election for that. Yeah. See, that shit is just fucked up. It typically takes years upon years and years. And you're talking about a collaborative effort across all pharmaceutical companies to then not only drop the possible dose of a vaccine, or creating a vaccine down to a 6-month period. That typically takes years, and you want to talk about efficiency and safety regulations when it comes to that is just goofy talk. It's really goofy. I'm going conspiracy level stuff here, and I'm going to say that it'll be a sugar pill, or it'll be something just therapeutical when it comes to like, oh, we're just going to put Tylenol in this shit and pass it off as a vaccine. Alright, so if we're working with work, Slack Technologies, I want to look back at historical reactions off of ER itself. So the first one was back on December 5th. Didn't move at all. Okay, so right there is a sign you should be selling off of this implied move. But let's get some more information. Next time it reported in March, and it tanked. It tanked a lot, but that was because of COVID. All right, so then afterwards it just popped back up. So another reason to be selling when it comes to that. Let's jump over to June, and that shit tanked again. So there's a little bias. Now you have two things where 2 times you should have been selling. 1 time gives you a clear warning not to sell. So then that's trying to build around that. So you have a $5 move. $5 move puts you at 34. And then a $5 move down puts you at 24. That gives you a big range. If I am gonna be playing work, what can you do? Let's put up a September 11th. That gives you a big range. If I am gonna be playing work, what can you do? So let's create another bias when it comes to this. Sorry, I'm just thinking this over. Create another bias in your head. The performance of Zoom and what it did during here. And now you have Slack. So now Slack is another way that companies are using to get their employees together, collaborative work together. So most likely, they're going to see a boost in companies making this switch, companies using their technology, companies paying for whatever they're doing with a company. I have no idea what it's, whatever. So I would be playing a bullish bias, but playing out within that implied move. So what I would probably want to be doing, you know, you could, what's the call side on this? So it's heavy to the call side. So that's what they're plotting and planning that too. Because you get a $5 move down here, you're looking at 34 cents for a 24 put, and then $5 move to the upside, and looking at a $1 move. So options market is pricing in a move to the upside. If you can sell, so 2 things. I would be looking at call condors on here for collecting premium on these inflated positions. if it is truly an implied move of $5 and you still have a dollar move on that, on a $5 move, 100% play to that. Maybe do like a 31, 33, 35, and 37. 37 sits out the implied move. It allows you to collect off the 33, 35. And for collecting off the 33, 35, it's $1.50 off the 33, and it's $1.20, $1.10 off that. So you're collecting $2.50 off that, right? And you're buying then the move off of the 30. So you're going to be getting that delta. They're going to be getting that gamma burst from an at the money position that you're playing. I would stick to a bullish bias. I would go with the call condor on that, and I would do exactly that. What would that run? I would run a 31, 33, 35, 37 for 32, or you can even make it a little bit wider. Oh yeah, let's keep it like, let's keep it $3 wide. Oh, they don't have a 36 strike on a freaking weekly. Are you kidding me? Or you can even make it a little bit wider. All right, let's do 37. Whatever. Yeah, let's keep it like, let's keep it $3 wide. Yeah, that's what I do right there. Oh, that. So that would make it more than a 10. That would make it a 30% move if it actually hit all this stuff, but you're collecting off any upside. Yeah, so I'd do a 30, 33, 37, 39, call condor on that, run you 77 cents for this week. It's a shortened week. Remember, you're collecting off the 33 and 37, so meaning you want it to move up. And once you get there, who cares? If it stalls on 33, if it stalls on 30 before 37, you're getting full value. So you pull this up, the risk of, or the chances of it going above 32. Let's correct this down. So we have a 30. So oops. So if you go into toss and use their risk profile thing, you can easily do this. And let's do, we don't want it to go above 37. So between $30 and 37, since you are playing a directional bias, you're obviously going to be at 50%, or you're going to be lower than 50%. And since you're selling stuff and you have to pay for the premium for the $30 call, that's why you get the 5% drop there. So you're looking at 44% for this chance for the play to hit. You switch over to your risk profile, and you're getting a wide range. And you're going to be making money regardless on this play if it's above 31, or excuse me, 30, what is it, 30.75. And then if it goes up and it just explodes, like, oh my god, you know, work going all the way to 50 and pulls a zoom, you're going to be making $23 off of this because of the separation of the two sell sides on the 30 and 33 and 37. And you're going to be hitting a max profit about 230, or excuse me, we'll just call it 230, but it's not 230, but it's like 223 if I do the math. Yeah. So you're going to be doing that. I think that's great. And then you get time to react too. You'll get a lot of decay on the at the money 30, which will probably drive you down. And if this, you'll probably lose half of your position if this doesn't make a bullish move at the open tomorrow. But that's why you put on the call condor itself, because it gives you that time and you're not completely just shot like your calls would be if you just simply grabbed a 30 and rode it. IV crush on that, and the changes in IV itself would matter. $77 for a little bit of upside and money no matter what on a play that you have no idea what they could report, what new things they're going to be doing. Maybe they did some other operations that's causing them to lose money. Yeah, do it. I don't know if you're watching the stream either, so I'm gonna just post it there since you asked about it. What would be the spread on that? It can't be that wide. No, it's that's a pretty tight spread for a call condor. It's less than 20. Okay, let's go back up. Let's see how VWAP is traded since we left, and it is still the most targeted spot. Notice how it's 300, 500, 400, 400, 400, and then you get this random spot where it's 600, 700, it's pushing there. Makes sense. That's how you can determine inflection points. It's like points of contest, which I don't. Everybody's been using different words lately, so hopefully you understand what I mean by those ones. Makes sense. That's how you can determine inflection points. It's like points of contest, which I don't. Everybody's been using different words lately, so hopefully you understand what I mean by those words. So if you're looking at my 15-minute tier 2, so let's say you're a candlestick person. Okay, let's get rid of this, make it easier to see. All right, so you have a hammer. All right, hammers are, you know, price action dropped. It was bought back up. Small body means right there near where it was open, where it closed, and then it was followed up by an inverse hammer. And now we have a new hammer that's forming on the 15-minute fresh out there. 1 second. Okay, so hammer, you got hammer brothers going on here. All right, so hammer, 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 hammer there. So you can translate each candle over to these points right here. Why is it there? So that's right at that level that we're talking about, and we can see here. So the amount that was traded on the ask there, the amount that was traded on the bid. Since it was brought back down, maybe you saw the bid from this level that it was at. What was it, 72? So you take it down from 72, see how much pressure was added to form that candle itself. And since it's within the past 15 minutes, it'll still show up here. Versus the amount of pressure that it took to make this candle. And this was brought down from 60s. So 60s to bring it up to that level, still greater on this side than it is on that side. And that's how you can compare using candlesticks, using to volume profile, and then where each thing was attacked on each trade. And you can follow along here. Need be so you bid 11, ask 19. 3 contracts were traded on the ask there. Hopefully that gives a better idea on how you don't need to completely ignore Dom and try to sit here and just trade candlesticks and try to figure out the psychology of this, because this little candle combo right here would just absolutely drive anybody absolutely crazy. Why did this hammer just form, and then why did an inverse hammer just form after that, if that's what drove price action that high? If a hammer formed here and then an inverse hammer formed here, what the hell, why aren't we going higher type thing? Because it changes constantly over many time frames. Did we get news or something? A little bit of volume. What drove price action that high? If a hammer formed here and then an inverse hammer formed here, what the hell? Why aren't we going higher type things? Because it changes constantly over many time frames. A little bit of volume.
You and I, with each other at the moment. That's what's important.
So fresh area on the Dom, and now watch how it develops. Still more pushing it higher than what's driving it lower. So fresh area on the Dom, and now watch how it develops. Still more pushing it higher than what's driving it lower. They're using the interstellar music to create that beat. I love that. Hold on, I need to write that down. That's smooth. Don't judge me. Everybody has their vice. You know how bid side caught right back up and drove it back down, and now we're hanging right at VWAP again. And notice how it's still developing, and it's still the one with the most volume. My phone is hot today. You know how bid side caught right back up and drove it back down, and now we're hanging right at VWAP again. It's not porno music. What kind of porno has this type of music? And honestly, am I still in contact with him? Yeah, he reached out to me the other day. Why? Porno music. What kind of porno has this type of music? And honestly, am I still in contact with him? Yeah, he reached out to me the other day. Why? This is actually the only music that's allowed by YouTube and by Twitch without getting banned, because it needs to be the lo-fi stuff, so that you can't recognize it or whatever, or it's just so choppy. Otherwise, you're just gonna have just me talking, and that's pretty soothing already as it is. But I need something a little bit more upbeat. Yeah, I saw that JP Morgan thing in the morning. It's really scummy. I mean, did you expect anything else? I think that was the biggest thing everyone said too when it first came out, was how do you make sure that people use it or don't use it for this manner, like that, like Ross Gerber dude that was using it for calling himself like a car dealership or whatever. Who's a cockweasel? When it first came out, how do you make sure that people use it or don't use it for this manner? Like that, like Ross Gerber dude that was using it for calling himself like a car dealership or whatever. Who's a cockweasel? So VWAP is still leveling out. We have a shorter term moving average. Like I'm using this off on a 15. I can switch over to a 5 minute. I believe 5 minutes still above. Still trending off of it as well. So you have your first VWAP break. Possible confirmation over it in the next 2 minutes. If it confirms over it, I'd probably switch long. The next point of thing you'd have is, was it 76? So we could use like 76 right here. Yeah, it's just about this blue line right here. That's what I would be looking next to either take it short again, just to play the range that it's in. But when it reaches this, like right, so here, this is the level that you want to start watching where things start happening. Where does volume show up at? Where are they attacking? About this blue line right here. That's what I would be looking next to either take it short again, just to play the range that it's in. But when it reaches this, like right, so here, this is the level that you want to start watching where things start happening. Where does volume show up at? Where are they attacking? Of course, it's all going to be pointless. There's so many people that are just going to do exactly that. Just take advantage of it because they're not going to audit every single person. That would take too long, too much resources. It just wouldn't be worth it. There's so many people that are just going to do exactly that. Just take advantage of it because they're not going to audit every single person. That would take too long, too much resources. It just wouldn't be worth it. But we also know that that's going to be the next headline that drives us higher. Like before, it was vaccine news to make sure the common worries of consumers is brought back, and they start spending again. And now it's going to be like, all right, well, the consumer's back, but they don't have the money to spend. So that's when they start releasing the stimulus headlines to, all right, well, guess what? You're going to get more money. So now that's curbed. And all right, now they start planning their trades on where is the consumer going to be spending their money? Is it going to go to, the last stimulus check was mainly spent on electronics. It was the #1 thing that it was spent on, and then the next thing up was home improvement. So you should be looking at your consumer electronics, meaning your Best Buy, your Amazons, your Lulus and your Ultas and all those little little things. But then you're also going to be looking at your Home Depot, Lowe's, and all those other types of, I can't remember the other names of. But that's where I'd be looking if you get any whiff that there's another stimulus check. Your Lulus and your Ultas and all those little little things, but then you're also going to be looking at your Home Depot, Lowe's, and all those other types of, I can't remember the other names. But that's where I'd be looking if you get any whiff that there's another stimulus check. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt it one bit. It's just funny that I mean, outside of being a good person, wouldn't you? Like, if you knew that 33 million people are going to be on unemployment, and you can just be like, yeah, I'm not working either. Like, that would be the time to try something sleazy. Outside of being a good person, wouldn't you? Like, if you knew that 33 million people are going to be on unemployment, you can just be like, yeah, I'm not working either. Like, that would be the time to try something sleazy. Yeah, see, there's the top of the range pullback that I was looking at. Like, that's literally right at the top of the range. So you're not. It doesn't mean a trend shift. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue going lower. It's just if you follow that blue line across. And here's the thing. So They tried to push it up and they slammed it back down. That's kind of why I didn't want to get long on this pop right here. Like if you're on a shorter time frame, you know, if you're right here, you're looking at a pop over that line. See, that's a big ass reaction to that. That's fine. Not a big ass reaction, but you're looking at a 5-point drop off of some, but like within the same 1 minute time frame of a potential breakout over that resistance. I don't think I would get back in here if it retested the previous breakout, because it already broke down below. What's the age-old saying too? Like resistance comes support, and support becomes resistance once it breaks through. Well, that didn't happen. So here's the point though. Here's the 203 to get that pop, and trying to trigger some people that had the buy orders. So if I threw a buy order there, you can grab every single one of those persons, and then you can just slam it back down. And you'll get a couple points out of it, and now you see if it's a shift. You got 12 minutes left on a 15-minute candle for, once again, the lovely hammer formation for candles. You can grab every single one of those persons, and then you can just slam it back down. You'll get a couple points out of it, and now you see if it's a shift. You got 12 minutes left on a 15-minute candle for, once again, the lovely hammer formation for candles. I don't know if I want to get long just yet. That was a dick reaction to that pop. I'm gonna let this play out for a second. I'm gonna step away and grab something. All right. What? Oh my god, did Dave actually lose $4 million on the tech sell-off? Oh man, that's hilarious. Oof. He did. That shit is rough. Well, good thing he hasn't figured out about options yet. That dude's gonna lose so much money when he figures out about that. So the reason why I'm not trading this is because of this right here, the pop drop. It's going drop, pop drop. It's just gonna keep on grinding out that. It's just gonna be a headache. And then when it finally breaks to a side, you just hope that you're on the right side. So I'm just wait that out for a little bit. And it's still playing within this range I was talking about. So a strong reaction off this candle to back to the upside, and confirmed it that that was a level to be watched. But this candle right here. So that's gonna be my range. So I'm gonna be looking for, you know, like if you're fancy with lines, and you really want to do that, maybe if it breaks below 370, look to short again. Or here, you know what do you do? Right here. What is that? Does that line up there? Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'd be looking. So now my eyes are going to be flipping over to here, see how it's trading. So remember, this is around VWAP. And I'm going to be watching to see how these orders come through on ES, where they're attacking, how much they're attacking with. So they're gonna try to defend that area. Yellow, just assume that they're trying to push higher. And then blue's obviously trying to push it lower. Dave Portney or whatever, isn't it? Portno, or the Barstool guy. I'm looking for a play on Strike. Isn't SYK Striker? SYK, yeah, Striker. For a breakthrough 202, that's fine. Looking to reach it today. That's a big move for today, dude. Especially with 2 hours left in the day. And so this goes back to, I don't know if you were here for that, when we were talking VWAP. So again, like if you have $1 million and you go to a manager and I say, I want in Striker, this is about to make a move. Striker's currently $3 off VWAP, a fair value for the day, because that's where most customers got in at. That's why VWAP is there. So you're gonna see people, if this is a move that they want to be a part of and they want to get in, they're gonna someone's gonna try to make a push back down to VWAP to make a fair value or make it better. It's like, hey, we got you close. Now it's okay to let it go. Now we can let the move happen. It doesn't always have to happen, and not every move to VWAP and everything is controlled by a money manager trying to get in a larger client or these things. It's just a tool to use to find fair value of where you're getting in yourself as well. Now it's okay to let it go. Now we can let the... So personally, I wouldn't be trying to get in for today. I don't care what it does. I don't care if this thing explodes to 210 today. You're $3 off VWAP right now. It's just a tool to use to find fair value of where you're getting in yourself as well. So personally, I wouldn't be trying to get in for today. I don't care what it does. I don't care if this thing explodes to 210 today. You're $3 off VWAP right now. Oh, I don't want that. Shoot. Wrong area. I would just set for daily. You can set it for weekly, but again, why would you want a weekly VWAP for a short-term position? If you were talking about, if you're going to be, so I always go by the rule of the way you'd be setting it is a daily VWAP for intraday and daily swings overnight, or if you're going for a weekly, you're going to be holding that position for weekly. However long you plan on holding that position, that should be where you're trying to get in at. So I always go by the rule of the way you'd be setting it is a daily VWAP for intraday and daily swings overnight, or if you're going for a weekly, you're going to be holding that position for weekly. However long you plan on holding that position, that should be where you're trying to get in at. If it doesn't make sense, or if you want more clarification on like my thought process for that, just let me know though. Like, it may differ from yours, but you may want that risk. You think it can move higher, you think it could make that $10 day. It just personally, with what I would want to trade, I want less risk with that. If it doesn't make sense, or if you want more clarification on like my thought process for that, just let me know though. Like, it may differ from yours, but you may want that risk. You think it can move higher, you think it could make that $10 day. It just personally, with what I would want to trade, I want less risk with that. So here we go again. So we've been following this for, we've been trading for how long? An hour? An hour. So off the bottom lows right here, off this candle. So we've seen one hammer, two hammer, three hammer, four hammer, five hammers now, all within this. So a lot of indecision for a pin. So that's kind of why I'm keeping this here, and it could very well bump, and it should get me in. Wow, it didn't. Okay. Hey, that's good. You just have a lot of indecision, so now I'm in. So now, since I'm short, I'll be buying in, looking for something to get a protection. What do I want to get out at? You just have a lot of indecision, so now I'm in. I don't need it. That's fine. There we go. So I just need my quick little hits off that. That's all I need. Again, I'm not trying to make large moves here. And what are we? We're 79 minutes into my son's nap, so that looks like I got out pretty well. So play to your work life, play to your life in general. I know a lot of people that join us on Last Margin Call. There's a few mothers out there that handle 3 kids and try to trade. Like, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but you're a goddess, number one, for having patience and the ability to do that, and you deserve a great amount of praise. There's a lot of people that have jobs and try to trade this, while they're on a bathroom break or lunch break. make money, number one. Like, this is only $11.25. Sure, that's fine. It's not a lot. Who cares? I have to get up soon. So if I made $11.27 or 25 cents, that's more than I had before I started this. Make money, number one. Like, this is only $11.25. Sure, that's fine. It's not a lot. Who cares? I have to get up soon. So if I made $11.27 or 25 cents, it's more than I had before I started this. There's always like, so James, that's how I play in terms of this. If you're a momentum trader, like, it has the momentum, and if it's setting up for continued momentum intraday and it still fits your plan of I want it to be in this play, then by all means, I mean, do that. Wait for your pattern, wait for what you play to. You know, it's given you some great patterns so far. You've used some really great patterns, actually. Every high day push, flag pushes here. It's setting up for another one on a 5 minute, and if it breaks out, play it up again. I just realized I pressed market order on that. I thought I was on. Oof. Okay, well that sucks. Damn. Oh well. So this is what I was talking about in terms of before my order got hit, in terms of candlesticks. If you're just a candlestick pattern trader, and just playing off the psychology of each one that's made. I'm not sure if I finished my thought process on it, but you have hammer, you have a hammer, you have a hammer, you have another hammer, you have another hammer. There's indecision between people that want to go long and short, but there's pressure enough to carry it higher. And that's why you're getting this type of reaction right here off this candle. It doesn't mean it goes all the way down. It just means, yeah, okay, that reaction is warranted because look at the fight that's been put up with. It tries to break out, it gets pushed down. It tries to fall down, it gets pushed up. Breakout comes down, and it tried to break out again out of that range and got slammed. So playing for this range on this is probably what you should be doing. Why can't I ever do that? But that's fine. So retest of the range until you see something show up here. So look, so what is that? 100 just came in right there, and we've been watching it slowly tick up. This range on this is probably what you should be doing. Why can't you ever do that? That's fine. So retest of the range until you see something show up here. So look, so what is that? 100 just came in right there, and we've been watching it slowly tick up. Mm. Yeah, hold on. Why is it saying that? Why is it only saying it's a $3 trade? A $3.75 trade. It was from 33.69.70 down to 33.68.50. That's over. It's a 1.25 move. Why is it saying that? from 3369.70 down to 3368.50. That's over. Interesting. Sneaky little bugger. I'll just talk to AMP about that later. That's fine. Good God, that workhorse fucking stock, that is ridiculous. That move was bueno. So I still think if you're trying to play financials, you need to be doing this like every single time too as well. You need to be running, if you have the cojones to do it, just running a simple straddle along wherever it's at when it approaches that little trend line from March lows, and you just need to be riding it, and you take whatever pop it gives you. Usually, I mean, you get like a 3 or 4 day pop on this, and just keep on running that back and just playing the, I call it gamma bursts. I don't know what other people call it, just gamma moves, gamma scalping, whatever, where you keep it wide and you just play off that. So it's approaching those lines again where, like, let's say we're all playing Bank of America on a 55.50 right now. So if you ran a straddle on that, you know, you get the move down to the trend line, that's a 50-cent move, or if you get the next move to the 200 day, it's a $2 move on that. So I think that continuing to play these straddle positions, and if you're not wanting to play straddles, you can do strangles on this as well. Cuts cost a little bit. Obviously it's delta neutral depending on how you set this up. Or you should be running your buy to open iron condors, your buy to open iron flies. And when you buy to open those condors and flies, you're just capping gains, and you're just capping your speed even more. And so remember, when I say by speed, that's purely delta. So if you're running 50 delta on each side on a put and call, and then you're selling the cap side of it at a 10 delta, then you got 40 deltas on each side. It's going to be your speed to which the play can develop and how fast, and you may it all depends on how much you want to risk. It's such a struggle to get to tell people about that. It's like, okay, well, how fast do you want your play to move? I don't know. I just here's my risk. Okay, well, there's so many other factors you have to do with this. Hold on. I want to possibly get short again, which means you should probably get long. Am I right? All right. Well, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll try to have a topic every single day. That this one was more about VWAP and trying to show that real time, and luckily it showed real time too. I'll try to keep it a discussion every day about something. Well, hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Hopefully I'll try to have a topic every single day. That this one was more about VWAP and trying to try selling the ask this time too. I'll try to keep it a discussion every day about something. Selling the ask this time. See, this 1 minute is what's scary. Because you have the hammer that leads right into that resistance where my buy order is at. With a hammer, 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 hammer all the way down to a little round top. This right here is what I'm referring to. So you come down, you got the doju for indecision, you got the push down lower, you have the hammers. I should have just went short, but that's fine. I'm not in the trade, I'm not losing anything. But you have the hammer to confirm it up. It popped up right to here where the indecision was. And then hammer, hammer, hammer. It just didn't want it. It didn't want to even attempt it. Yeah. Not in the trade, not losing anything. But you have the hammer to confirm it up. It popped up right to here where the indecision was. I believe that's right where. Then hammer, hammer, hammer. You just didn't want it. It didn't want to even attempt it. Just a little bit above it is right where I originally got short on this somehow 375 trade, even though it says it's 1.5 points. So it would have been a good entry. Would have been a real good entry. Just a little bit above it is right where I originally got short on this somehow 375 trade, even though it says it's 1.5 points. And that plays into this factor down here, down on the 15 minute. How we're following that line. It was a trend line break right at where our entry was right here. So you wanted to see that. We just saw that it was pushing down. Here, let's find this. We saw that it was pushing down by the way that they kept on throwing everything at the bid and bringing it lower, and that's where I was like, all right, let's take a chance with it. You get the move down, the first initial reaction to just let the level go, and that's what we got out of that. We got out, and then they bring it back up, and then that's just the give up essentially. And that's where I was like, all right, let's take a chance with it. You get the move down, the first initial reaction to just let the level go, and that's what we got out of that. We got out, and then they bring it back up, and then that's just the give up essentially. I'll leave the order there just in case we get some headline news. I'll leave the order there just in case we get some headline news. If you hear a baby and screaming in the background, that just means my son's up. Yeah. Yeah. Vix is creeping up a little bit. James, you know the number one rule, right? Never do technical analysis on VIX. And you get to join the club of making fun of anybody who does technical analysis on VIX. James, you know the number one rule, right? Never do technical analysis on VIX. And you get to join the club of making fun of anybody who does technical analysis on VIX. It's a good tool to watch, though. I got it. I mean, I have it on my labels, so it's definitely something you should watch, though. It's a good tool to watch, though. I got it. I mean, I have it on my labels, so it's definitely something you should watch, though. I really wish I kept my short now. Shit. That'd be 10 points right there. 12 points. Cause I'm sitting here. If I could show you, I could just show you my screen where I got the baby monitor like right next to what you're seeing right here. So I have the baby monitor like right there. So I'm just bouncing. My eyes are bouncing back and forth between that hour and the baby monitor. So I'm sitting here. If I could just show you my screen where I got the baby monitor like right next to what you're seeing right here. So I have the baby monitor like right there. So I'm just bouncing. My eyes are bouncing back and forth between that hour and the baby monitor. I mean, you can trade. Honestly, you can trade whatever you want. It's just know the whole thing behind knowing what you trade isn't just like, oh yeah, I know watching the price. No, it's like one will legitimately move different compared to a direct correlation versus hold on one second, sorry. So whenever you hear those beeps, it just means a large order just came through. So there it is. No, it's like one will legitimately move different compared to a direct correlation versus hold on one second, sorry. Okay, so what I was saying was just the way that it moves with the actual thing itself. So like with micros and then minis. So I have my minis time and sales up while I'm trading micros. While it won't be a direct whenever an order comes through that means that'll move up. It just means that it could, but the difference could be 0.5 to 0.5, or excuse me, 2.5 to 0.5 difference in the price action that could happen. So that's kind of what you're arguing, arguing about the difference between VXX and VIX in terms of they just trade in separate. They're different. They're not the direct correlations. You watch if you pull up VIX and then VIX, you're gonna notice almost this same pattern, same chart, same everything. It just moves at different times. You can always just look up, how it's calculated too. You're gonna notice almost this same pattern, same chart, same everything. It just moves at different times. You can always just look up, how it's calculated too. Yeah, like I said, there's just know your instrument is the tool that everybody says. God, I'm really regretting that short. I don't need that in there anymore. What a wicked nasty short that would have been. I fucked up big time. So I would probably, well, we have that level there. Let's get rid of this, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. So 3350. So let's watch 3350. Let's watch how it trades on the DOM. So levels that haven't been traded for since I had my broker open, so you can watch them build at this time. Remember, trades executed on the ask, trades executed on the bid. You can watch them. So 63 has been attacked there, 71 has been attacked there. So let's watch it as it approaches this line right here. This area here, we can zoom in a little further. And just how it reacts off that. I'll even extend it over a little bit more. Alright. So don't try to pay attention to this because that'll drive you insane trying to remember all those numbers. Just see executed trades. So still more pressure on the bid side than there's pressure on the ask side. So they're in complete control right now, taking that lower. So don't try to pay attention to this. And so now you start seeing some right here. So yellow. If you start seeing bursts of yellow show up, people are trying to fight for this level. That's right here. What is it? It's a 4-point level that they're trying to hold and maintain. And if it gives up the 3350, you could probably see this level. Oh, this level right here traded, which is about a 10-point range. That if you wanted to flirt with that and you wanted to actually attempt that trade, you have 10 points to try to make some money off of. Traded, which is about a 10-point range. That if you wanted to flirt with that and you wanted to actually attempt that trade, you have 10 points to try to make some money off of. And so if you're also a candlestick pattern trader, just meaning you just want to see the psychology of order flow through that time frame, so 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever, and you don't need to pay attention to this, you don't need to pay attention to that. You can just go scroll in here, like, okay, sellers won there, indecision there, buyers came in here. I mean, you could do that sort of stuff, but I just want more to that. I want what's inside the candle. But I'm not touching this until that breaks through, and I want to see what happens at 350. I mean, you could technically try to go for a flush play right here off this low, but do you really want to get caught if it doesn't trade to 350? So we could just want it. Pressure's still heavy on the sell side. While people are still trying to do it, you can see 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. People are still trying to push it lower. So watch, ready? So you're trying to play that break below that and just try to get to this level. And just watch how it trades though. So push, push, push. Like, I don't want to be in this, because if that's a bounce spot or places where people have buy orders ready to go, if it drops there, who knows how fast it could snap. So what are we at? There you go. So there's another attempt to push it lower. And you can watch over here. So this is where my eyes are. This is where my eyes are. This is where this is going. I already know what this looks like. Just a quick glance over here. I already know what that's looking like. I'm just watching this. Another attempt to push it lower. You can watch over here. So this is where my eyes are. This is where my eyes are. This is where this is going. I already know what this looks like. Just a quick glance over here. I already know what that's looking like. I'm just watching this. See, still no flush shot off of this. This is why I didn't want to trade in this range. So if you get a straight line, so it already broke through, and it's not a complete flush. So now watch this right here. So let's scroll down a little further. You can get fresh. You can see this white build where the volume's at. So if you get a straight line, so it already broke through, and it's not a complete flush. So now watch this right here. So let's scroll down a little further. Yeah, no problem. I don't mind. You can get fresh. You can see this white build where the. Alright, so now at 2 points you could have got off that flush. And just like that, you back down to 1. And so this is right here. Extend that over, and that's right where it's approaching as well. Approaching right there, right there. There. And like that. You'd almost be back to break even if you just tried to play that flush. So that's why I didn't want to play it. It's too small of a range where everything kind of matches up. Be back to break even if you just tried to play that flush. So that's why I didn't want to play it. It's too small. Alright, so you got an hour of straight down so far. And you definitely have an hour of straight down. There you go. So there's, and so you can see it, all the blue that popped up too, that's a blues, that's gonna be your sign that where they're attacking. And you can see that right here. See how it significantly outnumbers this side? So ask is not even getting touched. There it comes in, the buyers. You can see it building off of that. Someone's trying to do this right now, right at that 350 level. See it's how it's outpacing there. But it doesn't matter. Like how much was just there. So then it gets dropped lower as well. No. So that's kind of like what I'm talking about. I'm not buying simply because it's at a trend line. I'm using the trend line as points to then stare right here onto the DOM. I'm not sure if my if you can see my cursor over here, and I want to see how that's reacting. So 350, so it's still even right here, and see how it was dropped lower. Everybody tried to rush into that to pull it lower, and then it's still a contention zone. See, only 14 and 13 has been traded on the ask at this level, versus, you know, almost 10 times that on the bid. So there's nothing that makes me want to jump into this. Like, look at this gap right here. So if anything, I would want to continue staying short here until I see this side building. So that was another big order that just went through. That's what that Bing is. Yeah, and there you go, another bid. There's nothing that makes me want to jump into this. Like, look at this gap right here. So if anything, I would want to continue staying short here. Look at James with the call out on the VIX. Look at that sucker just skyrocket now. See how bid side is still outpacing, and now you're getting more. Some buyers are coming in now. See how that was just 13 and 14, and notice how it's getting eaten up now. People are pushing it higher, pushing it higher. And this is just the DOM for micros. This is not the DOM for minis. And this is it right here for minis. So that's why it's important to kind of just look at where it's being traded and then size. So yeah, a trend line pickup right now is kind of looking a little bit more enticing. So then I would be looking for what else can I use for confirmation off this. So if I'm looking at shorter term time frames, I'm a candlestick pattern trader when it comes to this. So let's get a hammer forming here to show that when it dipped down below, it bought right back up. Then I'd be wanting to buy right above the body of that, because that would be resistance of that. Shorter time frame would be there as well. So probably like 33.53. Yeah, you know what you're gonna do? So like right there in a sense. So that's kind of just to show you. I'm not one in order there right now though. I want to see a little bit more. 33.53. You know what you're gonna do? So like right there in a sense. So that's kind of just to show you. I'm not one in order there right now though. No, I play on all time frames. Just each one confirms or creates a bias for this. So I'll be looking at the 60. There's nothing that you'd really want to be bullish about that right now. Maybe if I switch over to 15, it's showing signs of trying to put in a base. If I switch over to 5 minute, okay, it's showing more signs of that. And then the 1 minute shows me, all right, it is confirming that level. There's nothing that you'd really want to be bullish about that right now. Maybe if I switch over to 15. It's showing signs of trying to put in a base. If I switch over to 5 minute, okay, it's showing more signs of that. And then the 1 minute shows me, all right, it is confirming that level. So that's where I'd want. I would want a push higher. That's gonna be like a couple point pop if it does hit, and I just take it and get out. I don't want it to be ran. I don't like if it comes against me really fast. That's fine. I just need to be ready for that. Yeah, my little dude is moving. That's no good. So the only reason why I'm debating this position right now is just because he's moving. And I would potentially have to get up and leave. So do I want to be in a potential high volatility position right now? I could set a stop and just let it ride, but I want active management over that. And so there you go. So push below, I don't need to worry about it, but that's now a level that I want because of the reaction off that level. So that level took it below the previous support. So to me, that's contention. That's a new point of inflection on a lower time frame. Does it confirm with anything? Well, we can pull back on this right here. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, I guess. So we'll see. This is what I like. I feel like this is what Finn Twitter has been waiting for. Is this Dave Portnoy or whatever his name, the Barstool guy, I'll call him, to finally hit for him to lose money, so he stopped saying stocks only go up. There's so many of these like analysts that are trying to like, oh, he's lost 3 million in 2 days since Friday, and he lost another 700K today. He also insists stocks only go up, and he's not going away. Like, this is the dream they've been waiting for, to finally be able to rub it in his face. Analysts that are trying to like, oh, he's lost 3 million in 2 days since Friday, and he lost lost another 700K today. He also says stocks only go up, does not go away. Like, this is the dream they've been waiting for to finally be able to rub it in his face. That poor guy. Poor pizza. Alright, so again, so that's the new contention line. So zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So 44. What's 44 doing? Do you notice how at 44 levels, at 500 volume for that, 500 volume over here, and it tapers off a little bit as you go down here. So now it's going to break through there. So what happens? Where is this coming from? Does it get eaten back up? You can look on the sides right here. Bid is still being heavily attacked, harder than the ask. 43 is still being heavily attacked. And there's your flush. So you can, it's not necessarily a flush. We can see on here the orders that came through is the hard push off blue, and then instantly bought back up. So there's your hard push, and then yellow does it. So it doesn't, you can't predict who's going to be buying here. They can place orders there, but what happens if I'm on here and I say, all right, I want to buy this very second, but I don't have an order up. So just wait for it. See? See, so what we were talking about with this, the bid side being attacked, and you can see now how does it compare after the move. All right, there you go. Oh, the nice little lot that was thrown. So you can see the difference in volume that was traded between the bid. So what we were talking about with this and there. So they just let that go for a second. Okay. How does it compare after the move? That's a wee bit of volume. Hold on. This is just low a day. So you can see the difference in volume that was traded between. Yeah, so that's just low. Is an attempt at low a day. So they just let that go for a second. Okay. What is who has low a day? At 37. No, okay. So still got a little bit to go. A couple more points. We'll see. What is low a day? At 37. So still got a little bit. We'll see. I would want to play a bounce now. Let's wait this out. Okay, what is that? Did I have my order in at 44? Oh, cancel that shit. Let's do like a 45. If there's like a hard push off that. So that's what you can do. See, if you pull it out, where does it line up with? It bursts through that low, now it's making an attempt for that low. That's legit. Like, it didn't actually make the push for low day. Like, if it made the push for low a day there, I would feel more comfortable holding that position. But I feel like it's one of those things where like it pops up to get more steam. Like, if it made the push for low a day there, I would feel more comfortable holding that position. I don't know, maybe. If you go ahead and break through 3340, I feel comfortable about placing my order there again. Well, that's kind of what my thinking is, James, but I wanted to actually make an attempt. There it goes. There's the attempt. Now let's see. So now my thinking behind placing my order here, if it makes the low a day attempt, so it pushes and either it goes for an actual bounce where it gathers all the stops below low a day and then slingshots up, or it just pushes lower and I just never get filled, which is fine either way. So now my thinking behind placing my order here, there you go. If it makes the low a day attempt, so it pushes and either it goes for an actual bounce where it gathers all the stops below low a day and then slingshots up, or it just pushes lower and I just never get filled, which is fine either way. So I'm looking for clues right now on how people are handling this. This little like after the flush, are they just recovering it slightly with low volume? Which it looks like they are, which is a little scary. Yeah. So I'm looking for clues right now on how you notice that this blue volume on the 6 and the 1s, 6 and 1s. Are they just recovering it slightly with low volume? Which it looks like they are, which is a little scary. And you notice that this blue volume on the 6 and the 1s, 6 and 1s. Yeah. So that's what I'm afraid about when I see this push. You can run the stops there, and then just not put any more pressure on it and let the people that retake their positions and walk it back up. But it depends on how they're walking this back up, number of trays, the volume that they're putting in to do that. And you're looking at the people that miss this to try to get back in, like with this candle right here, by still keeping that volume pressure high comparative to trade numbers. So that's why I'm still nervous keeping my order there, just in case they do want to just completely take off the foot on the throat. But another thing, so VWAP is still $3 off today. Okay, so you're in a position, you're in the middle of a sell-off, a 3-day sell-off now, and you're managing multi-millions, and someone says, I can't take any more, get me out at a fair value, and someone tells you that most people got out $3 higher than you, like, you're gonna be pissed. So that's why I was still aiming for it, and VWAP is just level. It's been level all day, so I'm just nervous about trying to play that balance, but also trying to factor in a sell-off. That's why I was still aiming for it, and VWAP is just level. It's been level all day, so I'm just nervous about trying to play that balance, but also trying to factor in a sell-off. I don't like that order being there, so I mean, look at the strength of that last candle too. So on a 5 minute, look at the overall move from here. So it's trying to form a base. Do I really want to get in on the base, or do I want to get out when it's actually making the attempt to break higher? So maybe I'd look to jump in a little higher. Look at the strength of that last candle too. So on a 5 minute. Man, that's rough. From here. So it's trying to form a base. Do I really want to get in on the base, or do I want to get out when it's actually making the attempt to break higher? So maybe I look to jump in a little higher. Man, why do I have a buy order there? It's the push down below of low of a day. And so if it breaks above there, it's a trend shift, number one. It's trying to form a base there. So if it breaks above there, you're breaking above a line, a moving average that it hasn't done since there. So I would just be quick in and out. I'm not looking for a complete recovery. I'm not looking for anything. I'm looking to get a few points out of it, get out, just like these past couple trades have been. I'm not trying to pick a top. I'm not trying to pick a bottom. If it breaks trend, I'm a part of that new trend that could form. Picking a bottom would also be trying to buy here and expect it to go up. If it breaks here, it's breaking trend. Picking a bottom would also be trying to buy here and expect it to go up. If it breaks here, it's breaking trend. Actually, I might be removing this order and stepping away again. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna be removing this order and stepping away while I go handle something. I'm gonna be removing this All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. There we go. All right, so my son is now officially up. So sorry, that's why I canceled my order there. I should have been in, but that's fine. My son's up, so I am gonna actually stop the stream here shortly, and I will see you guys at like 9 o'clock at night. Damn, that would have been a damn good fucking long play, but that's fine. That's fine. Life happens. Here we go. I will see you guys at 9. My son's up, so I am gonna actually stop the stream here shortly, and I will see you guys at like 9 o'clock at night. Damn, that would have been a damn good fucking long play, but that's fine. That's fine. Life happens. Here we go. I will see you guys at 9.